Well, there it is. Another completion for 2025. Yes, this is an actual completion for 2025 as it is my first time I played thoroughly till the end for Tomb Raider Anniversary.
What have you really accomplished here? Nothing but a temporary stay of execution for your kind. This island is just one remnant of Atlantis. I will find another. But you, Lara, you have lost everything.
Nearly 20 years after its release, 18 to be exact, this game has been sitting in my backlog for ages. Like many others, I picked up multiple times over the years, only to put it down, step away, or forget about it entirely. Each time I returned, I had to start over to reacquaint myself with the controls which kept me from ever finishing until now. This time, I really pushed myself to complete Tomb Raider Anniversary, especially with the second batch of Remaster Tomb Raider games coming out soon. I thought it would be a perfect time to share why. In my experience, Anniversary is by far the best way to play the original game, at least compared to the remasters. Unfortunately, Anniversary only covers the first game, leaving the rest of the trilogy without the same level of care. That being said, while I do believe Anniversary is the best version of the 1996 classics, that is based on my observations, what I've seen from the remaster versions, and what I've noticed in comparison, that doesn't mean Anniversary is without its shortcomings or flaws. Aesthetically, the game looks great. Graphically, in my opinion, it looks better than these piss-poor AI-generated remasters, which I'll go into in a second. In general, the game is great, but from my personal experience, I can't emphasize that enough. The controls really kill the game. Even though it uses modern controls, not tank controls like people referred to from the days before the analog stick controls, the controls in Tomb Raider Anniversary felt pretty finicky, especially during the platforming and traversal segments. With the addition of the grappling hook, which carried over from Tomb Raider Legend, it was a cool new mechanic, especially since it introduced new areas and puzzles that weren't in the original 1996 Tomb Raider. However, with the grappling hook came more frustrations and a lot more deaths than I anticipated, all thanks to the controls. The platforming and traversal felt wonky. Even though you now have full camera control, it didn't really help. There were many times when I thought I had Lara perfectly aligned for a platform jump or ledge grab, but she would still miss it. It was so frustrating that I had to look up solutions and guides for certain sections because the controls were so inconsistent. The game itself would make me think I wasn't doing the right thing when in fact I was. The controls are so pixel precise that all of my deaths came from them. No exaggeration, I never died once from enemies, not once. If it weren't for the finicky controls, I could have easily had a perfect NDR. Here's just an example of the many instances where I missed a ledge grab or even died because Lara either wouldn't grab the ledge or did so randomly. Now check this out. Watch as I try to jump from this column to grab onto this ledge. No matter how many times I attempted it, Lara kept missing, jumping parallel to the wall instead. I kept thinking that swinging higher up would give me a better chance of making it to the column. But that clearly wasn't the case. Now look at this other clip. This time she actually made it. When I went back and analyzed the footage, I noticed that on my failed attempts, I was swinging from a higher point on the wall. Yet, on my successful attempt, I jumped from a slightly lower position, and that's when she grabbed onto the ledge. You would think that jumping from a higher point would give you a better chance of making it to the ledge, but nope. For some reason, lowering my swing just a little was the key. It didn't make much sense to me, but hey, that's Tomb Raider physics for you. With all the frustrations I faced from controls, I got so discouraged that I gave up on trying to collect all the relics and hidden items in Tomb Raider Anniversary. It really took a toll on my motivation for aiming for that 100% completion. However, the new Chapter Select feature in Tomb Raider Anniversary does offer a bit of a compensation, allowing you to go back and try to collect the missed items. Still, even with that option, the controls might not be your best ally.
Damn, you really had me going there.
In the original Tomb Raider, you can only select a chapter through a saved file if you had one for a particular chapter.
I'm sorry, Father.
Unlike the AI-generated remasters of Tomb Raider 1 through 3 and 4 through 6, Tomb Raider Anniversary was built from the ground up using a different engine, but the same one as Tomb Raider Legend. That's why the game looks so much better than the remasters, in my opinion. Now, as far as getting your hands on it, that's another big if. It may not always be available digitally, and finding a physical copy depends on where you look. But if you do come across it, it's usually not too expensive, often going for around 10 to 15 bucks, as of the time of this video. If it's priced much higher, you might want to pass on it, unless, of course, you are eager to add it to your collection. Either way, if you have the chance to pick it up, it's absolutely worth it. Now, in conclusion, if, and that's a big if, you have the opportunity to pick up Tomb Raider Anniversary, I highly suggest it. The game may be available on PC, PlayStation 2, PSP, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, and PlayStation 3. And even though it's not the hardest game to find, it's not always the most accessible either. That said, if you do manage to get your hands on it, I recommend picking it up on PC, Xbox 360, or PlayStation 3, since those versions offer the best resolution and overall visuals. However, on PlayStation 3, the game isn't sold as a standalone copy like on the other platforms. Instead, it's part of the Tomb Raider Trilogy PS3 exclusive collection that includes Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider Anniversary, and Tomb Raider Underworld. So if you're looking for the PlayStation 3 version, just keep that in mind. Now, if you do not own any of the consoles where Tomb Raider Anniversary is available, understandably so, the remastered versions on current gen consoles might be your best and only option.